Welcome back to NCSS TV. We're chatting at the moment with Sam Weinberg as well as Natalie Wexler and Julia Kaufman. And we'll be chatting about the research case for elementary social studies. On Friday, you've all paneled an important session regarding elementary social studies. Can you share with us some of the key points that were made during this panel?
Well, I started out by talking a little bit about what we know from our research at RAND on elementary social studies. We don't know a lot about social studies, but we collected some information about the systems that support teachers in social studies at the elementary level, and there aren't a lot of supports for teachers at the elementary level in social studies. So that's one of the big points I made during the panel.
All right, very good. So how important is the need for early social studies education, and how do you feel that impacts students later in their education?
Well, I'll jump in. It's crucial. I think the fact that we're basically not teaching social studies in the elementary level, or there's very little of it, leaves students unprepared to deal with social studies, history, etc. at higher grade levels, at the level the curriculum expects, because they don't come in with the background knowledge they need to tackle those issues at a high school level, let's say. So it's a real problem, and it makes social studies teachers' jobs a lot harder than they should be.
Well, somewhat along those lines, what does the research say about the current infrastructure for the early social studies education, and do you think that most schools would they be able to implement this infrastructure?
Well, one of the things that happens in elementary social studies, and this is a very chilling thought, it's the last time most American children read a full-length history book. There are still biographies of historical figures that are taught and read in elementary school. And if you think about it, that after that, in middle school and high school, it's just textbooks. And so to not have this resource at the elementary level would be a disaster.
Yeah, and just to jump in on that, when we surveyed teachers at the elementary level in math and in reading, about 80 to 90% have curriculum materials that they use on a regular basis. But in social studies, teachers are recreating the wheel in a lot of cases. Only 40% said they were using like a regular curriculum material for their social studies instruction.
So with folks such as yourself all coming together here at this NCSS meeting, I mean, how important are these meetings in getting the research that you've done out to the right educators?
Well, it's absolutely crucial, and it's a very good sign that there is this panel, because we are, I think, exiting a moment where we've devoted so many resources to STEM education and ignored the civic aspects of teaching history and teaching civics, and I don't need to tell anyone about the consequences of that. We all saw it on our televisions.
So any other closing thoughts or comments that you wish to make regarding what we learned from the research?
Well, I'll just say that the basic reason that social studies has been marginalized or eliminated in the elementary schools is this idea that we need to spend more time on reading and math to boost reading and math scores. But in the case of reading, it has been found, there's evidence to suggest that focusing more on social studies would actually increase reading test scores more than focusing on comprehension skills and strategies, because kids acquire the knowledge they need to understand the passages on reading tests, in large part from subjects like social studies.
All right, well, thank you. Interesting information, we appreciate it. Again, we've been speaking with Sam Weinberg, Natalie Wexler, and Julia Kaufman. Thank you for joining us here on NCSS TV.